We're here on a very warm January day doing some tree pruning along the North Shore. This is a great time to prune. The winter is the perfect time to be pruning trees, anytime from December through about early March. We prune in the winter primarily because that lessens the chance of diseases and insects impacting the tree when we make these exposed pruning wounds. We have a redbud here. It's been here for about 5 years. We're just doing some light pruning on the trees today. I've already taken off a few big suckers. You can see these big wounds right here. These were not very good branches that were growing out of the base of the tree. I cut those off. They were actually rubbing and growing through the tree and out towards the sidewalk. Mostly what we do today is we just do clearance pruning for the trail. We have bikers, hikers, we have municipal trucks that come by. So lifting these trees, making sure they're not getting hit by the vehicles. First thing you do, most important thing, is to sanitize your tools. We have just regular rubbing alcohol in these bottles you can buy at any drugstore or pharmacy, and you spray your tools. The most common way to spread diseases from tree to tree by people is by unsanitized pruning cuts. If this tree is infected with something and we cut a branch here, we go to a redbud just down the sidewalk here, then that disease can be spread from tree to tree. So between every single tree, even if they're the same species or not the same species, always sanitize your pruning tools. Next, I'm going to look for any broken branches, dead branches, diseased branches, all things that should come off first. And then once we do that, I've already done a few of them here. I had a dead branch here. I had a broken branch here. Once you remove the things that need to go, you can start looking for things that just might be a little better for the tree. So I'm looking for branches that are rubbing on each other. Like this one here, you've got branches that are growing close together. Branches that are maybe too long and they're just getting too much weight on them. I look for the central leader of the tree. I want to do pruning that will support a good central leader. So we're going to identify this bigger branch here as our nice leader and try to help it continue to grow effectively by reducing some of the competing branches, any rubbing branches. And after a few cuts, there won't be a whole lot to do because the trees are pretty small, so we're not pruning very aggressively. We're just going to do some light pruning for shape and for protection of the leader. I'm just looking for areas where it's really busy, so a lot of congestion and a lot of branches all together in the same place. So I see a lot of activity here. These two branches are kind of in the same space, so I'll take one of them off. I also don't like this one coming out to me, so actually I'm going to just prune the whole thing off right here to the base. Another important thing is to not leave big stubs left over. Like if I was going to prune off this twig right here, which I will, if I were to cut it just right here, I have this big stub left over. That tree will never be able to heal over that. You want to come up right against the tree trunk, perpendicular to the way the branch is growing. So if we were going to remove this branch, which we're not, I would make a pruning cut that is angled, so it's completely perpendicular to this branch. I wouldn't cut out like this. I wouldn't cut down like this. You want to just make a nice cut right there. You can actually see the callus growing here. This would be where wound wood would start to form over the pruning cut after it's made. So we'll just be here for the rest of the day. We'll just keep working on these trees. I'll do a few more pruning cuts on this tree here and keep moving down the trail. When you're done, it's always good to gather up all the branches and put them in a truck, carry them away. Diseases can live in these branches that you've cut over the winter and then infect your tree later. So gather everything up, remove that from the site. You can either dispose of them in a compost bag or just take them to a brush pile you have in your house. And then we'll just be out here for the next few hours. We'll probably prune a few dozen trees today in a couple 100-foot long section of the trail from the Science Center down to about the Great Lawn, and we'll just keep pruning throughout the winter.